Well, hello there, and welcome back to another edition of Kitchen Table Talk at Lolo's. This is yours truly, Lolo, and I'm coming to you live and direct all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Listen, guys, so the whole of last week we talked about the gig life and whether or not you have the guts to deal with rideshare driving. I know I've mentioned quite a few things in the first 5, 6 videos the week past, but tomorrow we're gonna continue talking about these. But I got something specially lined up for tomorrow. I'm gonna make every effort to videotape and record step by step, how to rent a car through Uber. Now I would have gone through Lyft, but me and Lyft, I don't really like Lyft that much. I prefer Uber anyway if I'm gonna do rideshare. It's just a little more classy. Um, the drivers and the riders are held more accountable than Lyft. So yeah, you heard me say that. I've been doing it for 9.5 years. It's been almost 10 years now. You know, 20,000 trips. So hey, if you got a problem with that, you can take it up with me. Contact the show. Okay? Come to the kitchen table. Let's talk. We can do a telephone interview. We can do it on Zoom. We can do it any way you want to. Let me tell you right now. To me, Lyft is not as prestigious as Uber. Uber sets the pace, and I believe, again, Lyft is trailing. However, my highlight is I'm going to go through Hertz Rent a Car tomorrow, not Avis. I'm going to go through Hertz Rent a Car. And we can do all the procedures. I'm getting a lot of answers, a lot of information, and I'm going to post it on tomorrow's video. Now, one thing to me say in this episode right here, right now, I don't like doing it. At this point, after almost 10 years, man, it may be a strong word, but I hate doing Uber, especially here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. They got you capped in the income you make. They give you, I mean, man, you're going to give me a $2.11 ride to pick up for you and drop off? And I'm running over 7 miles total. Over 7 miles total. 2.5 miles for pickup, 4.5, 5 miles for drop off. That's the food. But the rides pay almost the same thing. And that's the reason why I was asking throughout all my videos, the past videos on this subject, the gig life, and drivers who are interested in going into the rideshare business, if you can deal with all of that drama. So here's the deal. Okay, I decided I'm not gonna do that food thing because they ain't paying no money. I'm wasting time. I'm gonna go there, drive my own car, my own fuel, and everything for $5 an hour. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not doing that. No, no, I'm not doing that. The company also plays on the conscience of the drivers. And they know folks gonna tip for their food, especially if it comes sealed and everything is fine, great service and all that stuff. So literally they like taking even far more off the food. Now I respect the algorithm, I respect the company. They got shareholders and all that stuff, but oh man, I hate doing it. I'm just not into it no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not into it no more. But just for the sake of kitchen table talk, I'm gonna go there. I see my reservations here. Car rental pickup Hertz rent a car tomorrow at 10 a.m. and it's College Park. And for those persons who want to know, the address is 4003 Main Street, College Park. That's where you're gonna go. That's one of two locations that you can go and pick up a rental car from Hertz. Again, you gotta have a minimum of 100 trips to be able to rent a car through Uber. I will confirm tomorrow if it is still the same way. I believe it's $200 deposit, which is refundable. It's $200 deposit, and I chose the mid-size car, which I think is $275 per week. Now, $275 a week, that's $550 every 2 weeks. That's $1,100 a month. Now, think about it. This is the reason why I purchased the car in the first place, to do Uber. My car payment is $750 a month. The insurance is around I think it's showing like 275, 285, 295, something that's around there per month. Okay, we're looking at $1,300, $1,400 a month. I'm sorry, we're looking at the $300 for the insurance, $750 for the car payment. Yeah, that's around $1,050 total. All right, so we coming close to that same amount of money for the rental car, except you're saving on miles, you're saving on wear and tear, and you can preserve your vehicle, and you also don't have to put no people in your car who's sick. And so I want you to understand. At the end of my video or during my video, I always tell you something very, very interesting with Uber. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you about how a passenger made me sick, or how I made myself sick because of a sick passenger. Being nice and sociable, lady came in with a mask. There was no mask protocol at that time doing rideshare. It wasn't, it was, I think it was last year sometime, the first of last year. So this lady had COVID. She had a mask. So I said to her, I said, ma'am, I know we don't have no protocol for masks, but if you prefer that I wear a mask, I have my masks. I got a pack of them in the car, and I would like to put one on if you feel a certain way. She said, no, I'm fine. I said, okay. Let's start your trip. She spoke with her sister. She got in my car. I verified who I am. I'm Lawrence, blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff. Started the trip. We started heading on the road. I look at the desk. I say, what destination such, such? I said, where are we going? We are going to the medical facility. I want to call the name. We were going to the medical facility. We were coming from the bottom of Fayetteville, the top of Clayton, all the way down, several miles down to the medical facility place. I'm trying to keep some things right. I want to say some things. I know I probably shouldn't call so many companies' names and where they're going. They're going to the medical facility. So I says, she started coughing. I said, ma'am, you all right? She said, yeah, I don't know where this cough comes from. I don't know what's going on. I said, okay, no problem. I said, but you have cough and cold on your chest. I said, why don't you get some herbs for it? You know, I live off the herbs. So why don't you get some herbs for it? He said, well, what will help that? I said, you ever heard of a plant called mullein? It's spelled Mullein. Now, mullein removes tar and mucus from the lungs. I says you may also need to embark on use some chickweed. Chickweed cleans the blood, the skin, and the lymphatic system. I said now you want to go on ahead and get some herb, which is best for iron, to build your iron levels back up. Of course, y'all know my other channel, I talk about all this food stuff. As a food expert and an herbalist, self-taught, of course, for the past 60 and a half years. My grandmother started me up on the herbs back in the islands in the Bahamas. But anyhow, long story short, yeah, she said, let me write that down. I wrote it, I told her again, I said, mullein, Mullein, remove tar, mucus, and phlegm from the lungs. And the chickweed cleans the blood, skin, and the lymphatic system. And all you need to do when you go to the herb shop, ask them for the type of herb you need to build your iron back up. Bam. Write everything down. Sure enough, that night I got home, I started to cough. I'm like, heck no. Now, I use my grandma's recipe. There's something called cerasee. Cerasee will cut when you boil it and drink it as a tea. It's very bitter, but to make it taste nice and mild, and it might be a little getting used to, but squeeze a half lemon in it, tiny dash of salt, warm to drink right down, and have it yourself. It cut common cough, cold, and flu in half by 4 days instead of 8 days, a week to 2 weeks. And if you're still in an environment where you're not getting the fresh air, you're not getting the sunlight, and you're not taking any herbs, any medication, this stuff can drag on for a long time. And if it's COVID, you may have to go get a shot, a vaccine, or whatever the case is. Long story short, I used my herbs, and it was knocked out in like 4 or 5 days. I was back to work. I had my test. My test was negative. I was back to work. Now, I won't say that I had COVID. I didn't test for COVID. I just didn't feel comfortable. I had a very dull headache up here, and I had a little coughing, felt a little weak. No reason, none of supper. Oh man, I piled up on that herb 5, 6 times a day, no food. Got rid of it. I felt great. So I'm telling you guys, you have to be prepared. You have to, whatever you use. If you have medication from your doctor, you want to make sure your medicine cabinet has stuff in there to take care of you drivers, you know? And if it's food, if it's whatever, have your stuff ready. So in the event you go there and ride somebody, I had a guy who's real nice downtown. He said, "Oh, we were talking about this and next thing," and I didn't realize I normally don't shake people's hand. We had a great conversation downtown Atlanta. I accidentally shook his hand, open palm instead of pounding, open hand, shook. We talked. And then he was telling me, but oh, I'm the one who I was I COVID, and I said, Lord, I didn't shake this man hand and stuff. So I did put my sanitizer in and wipe it up, but that was early in the afternoon, so I still worked 5, 6 hours into the day. Got home next morning, I wasn't feeling well. I caught myself. I said, you know what? If I troubleshoot and go back and think who I came in contact with, because most of the time I would keep my windows down just a little bit. I don't care. I put the heat up on. I put the heat up. Put the heat on and turn it up if I have to. But I'm gonna have those windows tight so I can get circulation and breathe and go out in and out. And I open up that little vent circuit, go on through. I don't close and shut it off unless smoke in the area or some other reason happening outside. Exhaust is something it includes the air to a certain degree, and I open it back up. Well, if it's in the wintertime, I'll put on heat, blast the heat, put the windows down a little bit. If it's in the summertime, I blast air condition and tilt the windows a little bit. So you want to cough, you can cough. It's fine. I know what I have to deal with. I know what's out there, who's out there. I'm dealing with healthy people, sick people, straight people, gay people. I'm dealing with all these type of people. So I have to be a people person. And I have to keep my car clean. I keep bleach in my car. I keep a bleach Comet spray in my car. I keep 2 sets of window cleaner, one with ammonia and one without ammonia. I keep Palmolive in my car. I have a stock of towels, a stock of rags, and I have a canopy cloth in the event I have to pick up someone's animal to cover my seat because I decided to work for Uber. It's nothing we can talk about. And let me mention you right here, right now. Anytime you decide to drive for Uber, you have to carry service animals in your car. That's the reason why I said you got to get seat coverings. I tell you, but I don't like driving for Uber. I don't like it anymore because people are rude to you, they're disrespectful to you, and some of them are just flat out nasty, and they're stubborn. Oh, if you drive it in the evening between say 3 and 6 or 7, and you picking up folks who get off work and going to the nursery, oh my kid can eat all day. Well, don't eat your McDonald's biscuits in my car. Oh, he's a kid, he can make no dirt. And then when I look in the back, I got cookie crumbles in my car, and when you're gonna brush it out and leave that grease, now I have to go in the bathroom, get the stuff out, squirt and clean and clean and clean. During the rain time, people coming in your car with mud. Oh man, this guy up in Stone Mountain, he in my car and bring a pile of mud. Boat. He came in. Okay, so the way I stopped, the 2 lanes. I stopped on the inside lane. Okay, kid came in my car. I says, I'm sorry, sir. Could you use the other side of the other door? Because I didn't even know my door was unlocked. I was waiting for the time it was dark. It was nighttime. It was raining. So by the time he came in and sat behind me, and he couldn't understand English, Spanish guy, I told the lady who ordered the car for him, I say, mira, por favor, muy poquito español, but can this young man sit behind the passenger seat and not behind me? It's not safe. And I'll explain why. Passengers should not sit behind the drivers during ride share. She said, blah, 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 blah. He slid over. This dude brought a pile of mud and dirt behind me in the back seat, and then he slid over. Let me tell you something. In the back of the car, both sides, and the little hump, the divider, full of mud. I took pictures on the Uber. Man, man, I had to take a day off and let it dry up and try to scrape it out. Let it dry first, and then I had to vacuum, and after vacuum, then I had to shampoo. They give me $40. That's okay. I didn't say nothing. Wait, I don't like I don't like driving for this company. I don't like no ride share. Period. But I'll take a chance and drive with taking somebody else. I'm gonna rent a car. Like I said, I'm gonna rent a car tomorrow. I'm gonna rent a car. Now, here's another tip for you guys. I know most of you drivers who who do ride share now. Most of you right now, y'all for safety, y'all encourage the riders to sit on the passenger side behind the passenger front seat in the back. Let me explain to you why. It was about 7, 8 years, maybe 6, 7 years ago. There was a research done, and if I'm not mistaken, I know it's definitely Fox, but I think it might have been Fox and CNN, but I know it's Fox and another channel. Around the same week, they were reporting on the same story. And they did this survey, this research, and they found that some 60 or 62% of all drivers who died in a head-on collision or 45-degree angle from the front, the drivers who deceased in those accidents were contributed by a passenger sitting in the back putting them through the airbag. So drivers, y'all driving out there, y'all watch this video, please, I see y'all picking up in the airport and all, but stop putting people in the back seat of your car behind you. And if they insist they sit behind you, tell them you insist that they sit behind the passenger seat. If they don't want to take that, cancel the call. Because they should obey the driver. It's your car. It's your car. It's your car. You know what I'm saying? It's your car. Don't let no one sit behind you because it's dangerous. And y'all know Atlanta, the city is growing so fast. Y'all folks coming from all over this continent. Some coming from Canada and all moving in here. Mexico moving in here. Legally, of course. Hollywood. Atlanta, again, has become the #1 film destination in the country of the United States of America since 2019. Okay? And as a result of that, folks are moving in. Right, bringing their vehicles and they're driving, and they drive like they're in California, they drive like they're in New York, and then they are mixed with the folks who are driving in Georgia. Some of those guys who can't drive. So as a result of that, we get accidents. Ton of accidents. I lost one of my good buddy, friends, brother in Christ from the church, head-on collision on I-285. So be careful where you sit your passengers, how you seat your passengers. Be careful doing ride share. Georgia has become, since 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, Georgia has now become a constitutional carry firearm state. Let me tell you something. The residents in New York City, they can't get no carry permit. And New York is not a constitutional carry firearm state. Folks who come from California, you don't get no handgun license just like that. I have a permit. I got my permit. I have my permit to carry. I have my concealed to carry. But I can't take my weapon in the car with me when I log into Uber. So what I do is when I leave out the drive, when I'm in the driveway, I turn it on. And when I get back close to the driveway, I turn it back off. For my safety, I don't stop at gas stations putting gas in my riders. I don't make that a habit. I have done it probably 3 times in 9 years. But sometimes you get caught up. And before you know it, you need fuel. You be like, oh man, you place down the road. I don't want to drive 10 minutes and then come all the way back for the pasture. And sometimes it's a good ride to get you going back to where you're going. Either south if you live south and you're in the north, or if you live in the north and you're in the south, you want to get the ride. You don't want to lose that ride. So all these things you got to factor in when you're making your decision to drive for rideshare companies like Uber or Lyft. So be very careful. Do due diligence. Make every effort to be above board, above reproach. If they say you shouldn't have your firearm, you shouldn't take your firearm. Riders, y'all need to chill out with that stuff. You shouldn't have firearms coming inside people's cars, especially if they don't want it in the car. I spoke to one rider. He says, "Oh, I had my I forgot what he said. I think it was a rifle or something, or a shotgun. It was in the bag." And the guy said, man, he said, "You're not coming to bring it out in my car." He says, "This older guy, church wouldn't. I don't know, an older guy, deacon or something." That's how he explained to me. An older guy. I'm an older guy too. But I asked him. I said, "Do you have a weapon with you right now?" He said, "No." I said, "Cool, well, let's ride." But he asked the guy to even put the weapon in his back trunk. The guy said, "No, you ain't bringing it to my car, period, because I ain't got a gun in my house. I don't deal with guns. I don't like guns." See, now, if you can have that type of attitude, guys, forget driving ride share. I don't care if you're doing it full time. I don't care if you're doing it part time. Forget it, because it's not for you. If you're going to conjure up in your mind, you leave your house in fear, you're going to deal with fear out there. But if you conjure in your mind and you leave your house in love to serve, to bless, these young kids, man, they need someone to love them. They need guidance. They looking for, "Unc, what's up, Unc? Yo, what's up, Pops? What's up, big bro? Man, you know, I really need, man, thank you for the talk, man. 'Cause, man, I was going through a hard time." We don't know what our kids going through, especially the young men, especially the black skinned young men. Because I'm telling you, I'm not, man, Jesus is Lord of my life. I love God. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Trust me, there are some stories I can tell you. You would understand that I am a man of God and I'm a man of love. And I drove, so don't get this wrong. I have driven my car with 4 young white men playing ball and whatnot, and they're the same as young men, happy and laughing. And then I drove a group of young black men. They're the same too, but they're short fuse. They're gonna snap. Both of them are only looking for one thing. They want to be respected. They want to be respected. They want to be appreciated. And most of all, they want love. And in order for the ride to go smooth, everyone has to be respectful to each other. And everyone has to be loving with each other. To sin is to fall short. To sin is to be less than perfect. And if love covers a multitude of sin, if love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it's not rude, it's not angry, pick no records of wrong, does not delight in itself, but rejoice with others. Love always hope, always trust, always persevere. Love never fails. 2 Corinthians 13, verse 4 to 8. I want you guys to understand that all you need to do is mirror, because that's exactly what's going on, whether you know it or not. You experience who you are in here. So if you're going to drive for Uber, and if you want to be successful, you know what you need to do. Love everybody as yourself. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. If you want a good ride, then think about it. You a driver? You want a decent ride in Uber, right? Yeah, no, that's right. Because I took Uber before too, as a driver. I took the Uber ride to get my experience. Oh, this young lady, she's on the phone talking. Oh, she was cursing, blah blah. She was just doing a thing, and I'm like, this child could probably almost be my grandchild. But oh, she's gone off into this and that, and man, I had to ask. I said, "Excuse me, pardon me, hello, ma'am," just to speak to her. She didn't have the conversation with me, and the ride was very short. Oh, the ride was short, and they charged me $17. I was almost livid. When I said the ride was short, you would not believe how short the ride was. I don't know how much she was getting, but I broke her 20, gave her an extra $10 tip, and let her go by the way. I don't even think I rated her. I just let her go. I let her go. Because I wasn't gonna be dishonest to me, nor I was gonna be dishonest to her, or I was gonna be dishonest to Uber. Let somebody else rate her. But the ride that I rode on deserved a 1 star. It deserved to block that ride, that driver from riding me again. Because one, I didn't feel comfortable. She was driving fast. She was on the phone talking. The phone was in her hand. And she was cursing, talking to a family member or friend. and I didn't feel comfortable on the ride. But you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody needs a second chance. Guys, I really appreciate you. Really respect you. Thank you so much for your time again. I'm working a gig and I hate doing it. Go figure. You can drive for Uber. You can drive for Lyft. Do due diligence and make every effort and make sure that you're up for the challenge because yes, it is. With that being said, my name is Lawrence Pintard, aka Lolo. Looking forward to the next one. Drop a line, drop a comment in the bottom, and let's keep the conversation going right here. Kitchen Table Talk at Lolo's. Have a good one.